Anyway, I'm going to divide it up into three parts. Because each, well, 2 parts? 3 parts. 2 parts. I'm going to talk about Improv After Hours and then Judas because they both deserve. And then the final random story at the end. Oh man, he's doing that one.
It's the final countdown.
Anyway, so we really didn't have anything planned to do on Thursday night except just to get there and see Gina and Nikki. But Brian Holden just so happened to tweet that he was doing a show at some kind of at the same club as, or at the same stage as Judas. Every time we go to Chicago, we just do a Star Kid thing and then we leave. So I kind of need to branch out and kind of like put myself out there. The same theater that Judas was going to be at, so we could see where it was, and it was tickets were only $5, so why not? So we ended up going to this show at stage 773, and it was like an itty bitty theater, and we like walked in and the girl was like, "Hey, are you guys part of the improv team?" And we're just like, "What? No." Apparently we looked like we were improving. I don't know. Which later it really makes more sense why she asked us that, but you'll find out in a second or a little bit. And yeah, we were like, I have no idea what we're doing here, but we're here. So then the doors opened and then we went in and it was this itty bitty theater, like full of like maybe 3 rows of tables and an itty bitty stage, and I'm just like, wow, okay. And I really thought like I guess I thought more people would have gone since Brian Holden tweeted about it, but anyway, it was really empty, and we just kind of and we were waiting to go in, and Brian Holden just walks by, and we're like, "Hey, Brian." No, he was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Hey, what's up? No, you're the only reason we're here, right?" And he was like, "Oh, hey, thanks." And I was like, "Yeah, so don't suck."
You're a creepy piece of shit.
I know, fucking twat. I'm sorry. He was probably nervous anyway because it was like his first show, and he's just like, "Thanks." I had no idea what this show was, but it was just improv groups performing like random sketches. And I guess, I mean, I don't know anything about improv. I'll be honest, I really don't. I don't know about performing it. I don't know. Not trained. So I mean, theater games in high school is the extent of my improv knowledge. But from what I got of it, there was a hostess. I don't remember her name. I do remember they called her Shout. Her last name was Shout. And she was really awkward and she did like a stand up act at the beginning. And you could tell she was so nervous. And I don't know. She was really awesome. And I applauded her for her effort. And she was so cute. And luckily, she knew like everybody in the audience except for us, which is the theme as the night goes on. Spoiler.
Obviously, it's a theme, dumbass. We were there the whole time.
I know. Well, yeah. So then they had the first group, and I don't remember who the first group was. I just remember that it was 4 guys, and one of them looked like Josh Peck, and he was seriously hot. And Brian Holden was sitting behind us until his group went on, and so I could hear him laugh, and I could hear his uncomfortable laughing, and I was like, and I tried to be like responsive and tried to laugh and stuff, but at the same time I was going, I don't want to be freaking obnoxious and have Brian Holden be like, shut the fuck up. And again, we were the only people there that didn't know anybody. So we're just like, okay, hi, what up? And who was next? Brian's group?
I think there was another group after that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel really bad because I don't remember all of them. I just remember at some point Brian Holden's group went on, and uh, at that by that point, I was enjoying the show. I wasn't really anticipating Brian Holden coming on, and I was just like, okay, cool. And then Brian's group came on, and I guess what I'm thinking is the way that they stacked them up was in terms of experience, like because the first group was like the beginning, and then it went up and up and up and up and up, and then Gulp was last, and they were the headliners, right? So it was kind of like that. Whatever. Okay, Brian's group was pretty funny. I will admit that, but I really liked the last two groups after that. Honestly, I think Brian's group was the funniest. Like they made me laugh the hardest. But then after Brian, okay, first of all, Brian's group got done, and then it was like intermit. Oh yeah, and then it was intermission, and then Brian took off, and then I remember thinking, well, Brian Holden is leaving, and he was the only reason that we came up here. So should we take off? Or, I mean, it wasn't like we were with him. So, I mean, we shouldn't have to leave, right? Right. Okay. Well, alright, let's just stay. So we went back in, and intermission ended, and then Extraordinary People came on, I think. I really wish I'd kept a program or something because I don't remember their names, and I feel really bad. It was I liked it better because it seemed like they had a structure and they had some kind of thing going on. I liked it. So I liked that. And then Gulp came on, and Gulp was the headliner of the whole thing. Like it was like the house, they're the house group. Yeah, they're the house group of the thing. Oh, and right before that, one of the guys of Gulp came up to us and was like, hey, guys, because at this point, let me reiterate, we were the only people in there that did not know anybody, and the rest of them, and they had thinned out even more at this point because it was like 11 o'clock at night. And so the only people left in this itty bitty theater were like the people that had already gone on, and like they were friends of these Gulp people. So it was basically like a whole bunch of friends watching their friends and us just sitting there. Just like, hey, let's crash your party. So this guy from Gulp, like, kind of before their group goes on, he kind of leans over and he's like, "Hey guys, hey, thanks for staying, thanks for coming out. Where are you guys from? Do you guys know somebody here? Or hey, you all three looked at me. You all three looked at me like I have the answers. So naturally, I told the truth, and I said, well." We kind of know Brian Holden. He tweeted about it. You kind of do. We saw his tweet about it, okay?
We know of Brian Holden. We don't know Brian Holden. That implies like personal contact.
Whatever. Somehow I mentioned that we knew Brian Holden, and apparently that was the wrong thing to say because everybody else was like, what the fuck did you say that? But it wasn't like he cared. He was just like, oh, that's cool. I don't think he even knew who Brian Holden was. So, anyway, so they went on, and they were hilarious. They were amazing. I really liked them. I thought they were the best. They had songs. They made, okay, it was like, whose line is it anyway? You would give them like a subject, and they would just completely start making up lyrics of songs just on the spot. Like somebody said Jude Law, and they just made like a whole 3-minute song about Jude Law out of nowhere. Like that's talent. I'm sorry. It was great. It was entertaining, and then they started singing. And then they went into some. I mean, every skit that they did, they had like a 2-minute song, like just came up with it, like that, and like they went into something. She was like, "Oh, we were hanging around town, and oh, I met John Stamos, and we're gonna get married in John Stamos." And then they went into a whole thing about John Stamos, like a fantasy about John Stamos getting married on Greek Island and stuff. And it was so good. I loved it, and it was awesome. And I was thinking, this is how my life should be. I should be doing this every single weekend. That is what Chicago life should be. That is what I want my life to be. It was just really fun, and I'm really glad that we ended up going. So, Brian Holden, kill you. Thank you for tweeting about it because it was really great. And then Like afterwards, I just wanted to like come up to them and be like, "Hi guys, you guys were awesome." And each one of them were so appreciative and so nice. And I mean, it was very obvious that we were the only ones that nobody knew. I mean, and they didn't seem to have a problem with it. They were not creeped out at all that we just kind of crashed their little improv party. They were liking it and they were happy that we came out, and I guess it was a good thing that we stayed. So, yeah. And then afterwards, I like went on their Facebook page and I like wrote this amazing review of them on their little event page because they were freaking awesome and I wanted to like celebrate them. And they were like, "This was like the nicest thing you've said ever. I've never seen. Oh my god, it's awesome." And they all liked it, and then they all became friends with me on Facebook. And I was sitting there going, "Why are you thanking me? You guys were awesome. I was just I was responding to your awesomeness. I'm not awesome at all. Why are you, I didn't I don't know. Anyway, they're awesome and we're like buddies now. So, yeah, that was cool. So, okay, that was the first night.